WWE is about to have its first Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view. I said before, whoever came up with that name for a pay-per-view needs to be fucking shot. But anyway, I mean, look, this basically is like an overhyped episode of Raw, with the exception of maybe a couple of matches on the card here. Now, look, yes, these are going to be my predictions and thoughts about the whole fucking show, but there are a lot of matches here that are either going to be rematches, waste of time, or not even going to capture my interest. So don't be surprised if I don't sound enthusiastic about some of these matches. But without further ado, here are my predictions for the show. So they finally chose one. Enzo and Cass to break up. Sad they didn't win the tag team championships. Well, I would rather win something like this than that penny or quarter or nickel stuff what they got. But anyway, it's cool to see at least Enzo Amore try to attack Cass, on this past Raw. I like the way that they did that because it makes it seem like, okay, he at least has some sort of chance as far as any offensive department. But it was from behind, and let's see how they go head up against each other. I'm going to pick Big Cass here because of the breakup they chose. The only way that Enzo is going to win is by a quick roll-up, but I think if he actually does that, he probably will get destroyed after the match and be sent on his way. You know damn well on how WWE feels about the big guys. The big guys. The big 7 foot tall. You can't teach. Yeah. We know how they feel about those guys already. So that's why I'm going to go with Big Cass for the win. In my opinion, every time a championship is defended on a pre-show, it degrades the title. It just does. Imagine if the WWE or World Heavyweight Championship or even the Universal Championship was defended on the fucking pre-show. Could you imagine that? And fucking WWE, you better not fucking ever do that. Don't fucking do that. Please. So, you have Akira Tozawa, a part of the Titus Worldwide, against Neville, and no one's on the Neville level. The king of cruiserweights. Neville has held the cruiserweight title for a long time now. He's one of the longest champions, if not the longest, currently in WWE right now. Well, NXT is another brand because Asuka, she has, yeah. But anyway, if Neville loses, it won't be because Akira Tozawa beats him clean. It will be because of Titus and or Apollo interfering on his behalf. So as far as Neville winning, that's a high possibility, but it's like, damn, they're not even creating anybody that's going to challenge him next at this point. Who is going to challenge Neville after this if he retains? If Akira Tozawa wins, at least Neville can chase him and get the belt back. But at this point, it's like, fuck. Do we even care about the Cruiserweight Championship anymore? Come up with better fucking feuds than what you're doing now, because the feuds that they have for this Cruiserweight division is just, it doesn't hold a candle for the WCW Cruiserweight title. I'm not sure if you can even see that because it's kind of hidden. Yeah, let me show you the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. No one is on a Neville level. We'll find out if Akira Tozawa has what it takes to do it on his own without the fucking Titus brand. I'm going with Neville. Sorry. I fucking hate this match. Not only that The Miz, if he retains, he will not do it on his own. Won't happen. He will not beat Dean Ambrose clean. Totally clean. With no distractions. With no one doing any work for him. With no weapons. With no interference. A classic match. That's not going to happen. But they're going to pick this fucker to retain the belt because he sucks a mountain of dicks in order to get his championships. He doesn't have any skill level in order to fucking keep it as the hardest worker in the company as far as wrestling. He just fucking does not. And if you want to debate that with me, you can comment down below. But I already have a video explaining, or a couple of videos explaining, on why The Miz is not a threat and not worthy as any type of title holder. He's not a main eventer. Fuck no, he's not. That being said, he's going to retain, and he's going to have his Jizz Taraj to help. He's going to have the Jizz Taraj to distract. If Ambrose wins, it will because there will be an implosion with the Miz Taraj, the Jizz Taraj, or maybe even with him and his wife. That, or unless Rhino and Heath come down and actually evens the odds. But I still don't think that Dean is going to get the Intercontinental Championship belt because, again, who would Dean face after that? But it goes on the other side. Okay, there's no one lined up for the Miz to face. He's just going to sit on the title for fucking long time without even fucking defending it. He just got outclassed against Heath Slater on Raw. If Dean Ambrose gets it, it will at least elevate the title as far as who's going to challenge him for it. Maybe Braun Strowman can challenge Dean Ambrose. But, again, yeah, this is just... I really don't give a fuck about the match because of who's in it. For one side, you got the Miz in it. I just don't give a fuck. As far as Ambrose, I would love to see him get the title back, but I don't think WWE is going to choose that route. The main reason why I'm not too keen about this match is as follows. Alright, 30-minute Ironman match for a tag team match. Okay, fine. I could understand if it was 2 out of 3 falls. Oh no, wait, they did that already. And then it ended up being a draw. So, alright, I don't see the Hardy Boys getting the belts back. I just don't. And if they do, it's still going to set up for them to lose and for them, the Hardys, to separate and Matt to be broken. Let Matt be broken, please. So I want them to not get the tag team belts back right here, and then Matt to be broken. Maybe this one will end in a tie too, or Cesaro and Sheamus are going to pull it off somehow. Yeah, this is going to be most likely the longest match in the card because it's a 30-minute time limit, and it could be one of the most entertaining because of who's in the match. A lot of people don't like Sheamus, but at least he can go in the ring. Cesaro, nuff said. Jeff Hardy, nuff said. Matt Hardy, he's kind of, but still, he can at least get it done to the point where you're believing everything that's going on, if no one else botches. So I'm going with Sheamus and Cesaro to retain, and for, I hope WWE goes on the road for Matt to be broken. Okay, look, this one's a toss-up. Oh, no, wait, no, it's not, because they barely have Bray Wyatt win any fucking pay-per-views. That alone says that Seth Rollins is going to fucking win this match. I will be fucking surprised if Bray Wyatt wins this match, but he's still on punishment. Yeah, we all know why, and if you don't, just go ahead and look it up, but yeah, Bray Wyatt can talk all the cryptic stuff about he's a god and everything like that, and he's going to save Seth, and he's going to save us. He can do that broken record all he wants. Seth has been a broken record too. No, you're a false god, you're a coward, and oh look, I just want a good match to fucking take place here. But I am going with Seth Rollins for the win. I just am. Why? Because again, Bray Wyatt doesn't do that well with pay-per-views. The funniest thing about this match is that the boss should win this. She should. But she hasn't been the boss for a while. She hasn't been the boss for months. People don't see Sasha Banks as the boss anymore. I mean, look. They teased the whole boss turning heel against Bayley thing months ago, but that time has passed. So now you have the boss chasing for this women's championship, and it's like, will they actually give it to her against Alexa Bliss? Question mark. Because after that, who is going to challenge Alexa for the belt? if Alexa keeps it, who's going to be next in line? I don't think they're ever going to give this belt to Nia Jax. Mickey is in her twilight years. Dana Brooke, please. Oh, and Bayley, she's flew the cuckoo's nest at this point, and no one even believes in her. So, I hope that they give this belt back to Sasha Banks, because at least this opens the door for Alexa trying to chase to get the belt back, and maybe even Nia Jax challenging the boss and breaking down the boss and getting this fucking championship, because that would be the road that will absolutely save this fucking championship. Because I'm just not a big fan of Alexa Bliss. I'm just not. She's acting exactly like The Miz at this point. Look, guys. Look, ladies and gentlemen. Look. Okay. If you care about this match, alright, you care about this match. Fine. But I don't. I really don't. I really don't. I wish there was a fucking way that both of these motherfuckers can somehow go in the ambulance. Maybe they'll fight on top of the ambulance, and the ambulance roof will collapse, and both of them motherfuckers will go in it, and both of them will be sent on their way, and both of them will not fucking come back for a while. Don't give... Look. They make it seem like Roman Reigns has a fucking chance. But the thing about it is, no matter what happens here, Roman has already challenged the fucking Universal Champion for SummerSlam. That is already set in stone. And if Braun wins, then what? If there's a fucking double whatever, then what? What if they fight and fight and fight and fight and fight and fight and fight, and they fight so much and so long that they end up in the Universal Championship match, causing a no contest or a disqualification or whatever, and next thing you know, it's a fatal four-way for SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. That could fucking happen. Or, it's the event is called Great Balls of Fire. Kane could come back because of Great Balls of Fire and throw motherfucking Roman Reigns in fucking ambulance. I mean, come on. Oh, God. It's funny how I even said that this feud between Roman and Braun should have taken place for months. But they interrupted it at WrestleMania, and that's what really fucked everything up. I don't even want to make a choice here, honestly. But I have to go with Roman Reigns because this is WWE, and WWE logic says that he's going to fucking win. To be honest, I am interested in what type of match this is going to be. Is this going to be just a straight out brawl? Or is it going to be a suplex city? Or is it going to be a chokeout fest? Or is it going to be... look, again, these two, a collision. I just want it to be good. But Brock has had collisions with certain people before, and they haven't been good. Like the Big Show and Goldberg. Maybe I'm reading too much into that. But again, as I said with my Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns prediction, what if those two end up in this match somehow, interfering or something like that, and then next thing you know, Roman stands on top at the end of the fucking show with Braun down, with Joe down, with Lesnar down. I don't know. Look, if Samoa Joe wins this championship, then that will at least, especially if it's clean, that will at least put some prestige on the title. Because, honestly, the Universal Championship doesn't have any prestige to it at this point. The first champion had to forfeit it the next night. The second champion had to win it under BS circumstances. He did. The third champion had, it was a part-timer and he won it off a couple of moves. The fourth champion is barely there to do anything. So, the fifth Universal Champion could be Samoa Joe. And he could get it, and he could defend it, and he could have good matches with no BS, no shenanigans. But then my fear is that he will cough it up to Roman Reigns. And look, no one wants to see Roman Reigns get this belt, but that's what it looks like it's going. Look, no matter who wins between Brock and Joe, they're going to just try to prep it for Roman Reigns. But I don't see a winner in this match. I don't see a winner in this match. I see both of them going to a specific limit, and then they call the match off somehow. It's going to be a no contest. That's my opinion. If there's a winner, again, I will stand right here, and I will hold myself accountable. And I will clap to whoever the winner is, and I will just... please don't fucking make the champion father to Roman Reigns. Please. So those are my predictions for the event. What do you think about my predictions? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Am I full of shit? Please leave a comment below. I'm always open for a debate about wrestling. And don't forget to hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Wait, it's called Great Balls of Fire. Are you going to keep this name for next year? Because they do constantly change certain names of certain pay-per-views. Who knows? Again, this looks like an over-exerted episode of Raw. It just does, with a couple of exceptions. And don't forget, once the results happen, I will stand right here and hold myself accountable for my predictions that I got right or wrong, like I always do. Drop kicks, body slams, throw motherfuckers over the top rope, both feet hitting the floor. Yes, I'm a wrestling fan. This is the theme, and I'll see you later. Credits.